So when we talk about areas between curves, we need to consider that the areas down here are going to be sign negative, the areas up here is going to be sign positive. But we're talking about area. So we just want the area between. So we want the positive values. So one way we can think of getting a positive area or the positive area in between here is if I take the top minus the bottom, I'm always going to get a positive value. If I take a positive number and subtract a smaller number, whether it be negative or positive, I'm always going to get the positive value. So what we want to do is just make sure that we keep if we want to find the area, we need to integrate the top minus the bottom. So I'm just going to maybe write that down here. So when we're talking about areas between curves, we want to integrate the top minus the lower or the bottom curve. Okay, so in this case here, if I want to do this integral, these are the two integrals. I think the f is the red function, and the g is the green function. Okay, so for this domain here, from here to here, which I'm going to call A, B, and we'll call that point C. Okay, so from A to B, the g function, which is a red function, is going to be g of x minus the lower function, which is a green function, f of x. Okay, and then we're going to add that to, the integral from b to c. Now, in that case, this switches. The f of x becomes the upper function minus the g of x, which is the lower function. Okay, so we have the functions. We need to know the intersection points, so we need to solve for that. We can see that b is equal to 0. The a value, well, we can solve for that by solving this equation where g of x equals f of x. So I'm going to say that negative 2x squared plus 2x is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared. One of my solutions is x. Okay, I'm going to combine my like terms and solve this. I end up with x cubed minus x squared minus 2x equals 0. There's my 0. And I need to factor that and solve. So x is equal to negative 2, positive 1. So x is equal to negative 1, 0, and positive 2. Okay, so I have my negative 1, 0, that's negative 1, equal to negative 1, b is equal to 0, c is equal to 2. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite my integrals using those values. So my area is going to be from negative 1 to 0 of negative x squared plus 2x minus x cubed minus 2x squared dx plus from 0 to 2, it's going to be the other way around, x cubed minus 2x squared minus negative x squared plus 2x dx. Okay, so again, the area between curves, if I integrate top minus bottom, I'm always going to get a positive displacement, so I'll get the positive area here. So then working this out, the area between the curves, I'm going to first of all combine my like terms. So I get plus 2x squared minus x squared, so positive x squared plus 2x dx plus, okay, combining my like terms, I'm going to get x cubed minus x squared, it's going to be the opposite of that, minus 2x dx. Okay, so working that out, this becomes negative x to the power 4 over 4 plus x squared, x cubed over 3 plus x squared, so it's going to be 2x squared over 2 That cancels out, and I'm going to evaluate that integral from negative 1 to 0. So same thing here, plus x4 over 4 minus x cubed over 3 minus x squared. I'm going to evaluate that one from 0 to 2. The zeros are nice here because I can just work these out much easily. So I'm going to get 0 minus, when I plug in negative 1, I'm going to get negative 1/4 minus 1/3 plus 1 plus, did I get that right? 0, 0, 0, negative 1/4 minus 1/3 plus x squared. Yeah, that looks right to me. Okay, and then working this out, I'm going to plug in 2. I'm going to end up with 16 over 4 minus 8 over 3 minus 4 minus, I'm going to plug in 0, I get 0. Okay, so there's my area. So this works out to be, I'm going to use my calculator here because I have lots of fractions in here. I don't want to spend all my time calculating this. So negative 1/4 minus 1/3 plus 1. Okay, so I end up with negative 5/12 plus 4 minus 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to get that, and I'm going to subtract those. I get negative 37 over 12. I think I must have got these backwards. I did. I got these backwards. So I mixed those up. Ended up getting mixed up these values. So I'm ending up with a negative value of the area. So if you can just fix that, that should be positive 37 over 12. So my apologies, I mixed up my subtraction in these cases here.